Hey boys and girls, this is Mrs. Kimberly again, and I just wanted to do a quick video for you today to review the skill Shades of Meaning. It actually has a skill within it that you are very familiar with. So I'm going to share my screen with you and share a Nearpod. Okay, so as you see here, Shades of Meaning. Some words can be similar in meaning, like synonyms. Now that is what y'all are very familiar with. We have been doing synonyms all year. Synonyms mean the same. Synonyms, same. So it's words that are almost the exact same meaning, or sometimes they are very similar. These words can have subtle changes in meaning. And what that means, a subtle change is a change enough to change the context just a little bit, to where some words would not make sense in another sentence if you use it. So it's good to know synonyms of what you're trying to say in order to put the best word for the best fit in the sentence. They help paint a mental picture of exactly what you want to say, okay? So I have a video to show you to review this skill, so go ahead and watch it.
Hey guys, today we are going to be learning about shades of meaning. So I want you to think of your favorite color. Mine is green. So there are lots of different shades of green, light all the way to dark. The words are the same. We call it shades of meaning. They help us to describe what we are thinking or feeling and decide which word shows a stronger meaning. So what exactly does that mean? Well, let's think of a word like light green to dark green. Mad would be the light green, but angry would be darker green, because angry is a stronger feeling than just being mad. So let's look at the shades of meaning for the word happy. We start with the light blue for happy and then go to glad, merry, delighted, thrilled, and ecstatic. Notice how the colors get darker, the meaning of happy gets stronger. So let's review. Shades of meaning help us to decide what words show a stronger meaning when we are determining how we think or feel.
Okay, so what I'm going to do to help you with this skill is on Monday, I read Hooray for Different Day to you. So I've picked a couple of pages and we're going to talk about some words on that page with this skill. So to refresh your memory, let me reread you this page. I've always lived in Dinkerville. My friends all live here too. We go to Diffendu for school. We're happy that we do. Our school is at the corner of Dinkzuber and Dinkzot. It looks like any other school, but we suspect it's not. I think we're learning lots of things not taught at other schools. Our teachers are remarkable. They make up their own rules. Okay, so the synonyms found on that page. So the first one we find is happy. For the sentence example, we go to Diffendu for school. We're happy that we do. Well, happy is an adjective that y'all are very familiar with, but it has less intensity. Just like the shades that the video talked about, the darker the shade of color, the more intensified the word is. So happy also means delighted. That's a little bit more intensified. And then the most intensified adjective for that would be thrilled. They all mean about the same thing, okay? So thrilled, for example, is your most vivid adjective there. Remember, we talked about the word vivid this year. Vivid is your most descriptive language. And that is good when you're trying to write descriptively. And authors do try to put some descriptive words in their text. But remember, you can't always use vivid language throughout. There needs to be a good mix so that you don't overpower your reader and that you don't get too wordy, okay? So let's try it here, because since they're synonyms, they may work. We could have said, we're delighted that we do. We also could have said, we're thrilled that they do. And it really wouldn't change the context here. Okay, but sometimes it does. You have to find the best fit and it has to make sense. So let's try the next one, remarkable. Remarkable also means amazing, as you see here. Amazing is the less intensified adjective. And then we move to remarkable that the author, Dr. Seuss, used. And then extraordinary. Extraordinary is even more intensified, means about the same thing. That is your most vivid word here. Extraordinary was a vocabulary word for James and the Giant Peach. So y'all should be familiar with that one. They all mean about the same thing. So here we probably could use our teachers are amazing or our teachers are extraordinary, and any of those would have worked. Dr. Seuss chose remarkable, which is kind of a middle intensified word here. Then we see they make up their own rules. Make is that verb that also means to create, which would be a little bit more intensified, and then design would be even more intensified than create. You see how it moves up in a shade? So we could have they create their own rules or they design their own rules. Those would have actually worked too because they're synonyms, okay? But because Dr. Seuss had already chosen remarkable, he decided to go with makeup. Remember, you just have to have a good mix to have good literature. So let's look at the next example. To refresh your memory, I will read this page again. My teacher is Miss Bonkers. She's as bouncy as a flea. I'm not certain what she teaches, but I'm glad she teaches me. Look, look, she chirps. I'll show you how to tell a cactus from a cow, and then I shall instruct you why a hippo cannot hope to fly. So the synonyms on that page, we see bouncy, okay? And you see a simile here. She's as bouncy as a flea. Miss Bonkers is being compared to a flea here. And bouncy is a good choice of word. Dr. Seuss chose a very good, vivid word here. But notice that it's middle intensity. It means the same thing as lively. Somebody's very active, has a lot of energy, okay? But then a more even intensified adjective might be animated. They all mean about the same thing. She's as lively as a flea, or she's as animated as a flea. That would work in context, but Dr. Seuss chose the best word for the context of this sentence here because it really makes you visualize her bouncing around and her liveliness, okay? So you have to pick the perfect fit for this sentence. On this page, we had a synonym pair. The word teach and instruct were both on this page. It comes from shows, which is the less intensified verb. Then a little bit more intensity is teaches. Even more intensity and more vivid would be instructs. Here is a little different. It's good that Dr. Seuss probably chose teaches, because let's try this. I'm not certain what she shows, but I'm glad she instructs me. That just does not fit as well, even though those synonyms mean about the same thing. So that is probably why Dr. Seuss chose teaches here, okay, because it makes the best sense and it's the best fit. Okay, let's try another one. Last page. 1 week later after recess, Mr. Lowe meandered in. We'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin. He soon began to giggle, then his giggle grew by half, and then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to laugh. You've saved our school, you've saved our school, he jubilantly roared. We got the very highest score. He wrote it on the board. Remember, 10 million%. So we have a lot of words on that page and a couple of synonym pairs that were used on that page. So the first one we see is meandered. Very vivid word. It means the same thing as came, as you see there. And then meandered is more intensified. And then look at there, zigzagged is even more intensified. You can really visualize that. It's more vivid. But meandered was a good middle intensity word for Dr. Seuss to have used here. But either of the other two would have worked. Mr. Lowe came in or Mr. Lowe zigzagged in would have also worked. Then we see the synonym pair, smile and grin, that was used. Well, smile is the less intensity, grin, a little bit more intensity, but then look at the next one, beam. Beam is even more of an intensity of those two words. But let's look at this one because it's a little different. Would this make sense? We'd never seen him beam before, but now he wore a smile, or now he wore a grin. Or we'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a beam. Does that fit as well? Beam does not fit as well, even though it's the most intensified word. So sometimes you can't do that because it doesn't make sense. So make sure that when you are figuring this out, that it does make sense and that it's the best fit for the word. We didn't need the vivid word here. What we had worked, okay? So we'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin, fits perfectly, okay? Then the next one was a synonym pair. Laugh and giggle were also found on this page. And if you see that, laugh is less intensity, giggle more intensity, and then chuckle would be even more intensified than that, and it would be really vivid. And we could probably switch those up here. Then his laugh grew by half, and then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to chuckle. Any of that could probably have been interchanged as well. But remember, sometimes it's not always the best fit, so you have to read carefully. The last one, jubilantly. He jubilantly roared. Remember your adverbs? This is an example of an adverb. It's an ly word. It tells how the action happened. So jubilantly is your most vivid word that Dr. Seuss chose to use here. Gladly and excitedly would have also worked. Gladly less intensive, excitedly more intensity, and then jubilantly. Any of them would have worked. We could have said he gladly roared, he excitedly roared, or he jubilantly roared. And any of them would have fit. But notice here, the most intensified word works the best because it's such a short sentence, it paints the picture better. Okay, so just know that vivid language, we've taught y'all to use those words to make your writing more descriptive and less boring. But you don't always have to choose the most intensified word. Sometimes it's good to go simple, just to have the best fit of the sentence or for it to make sense. But it's good to know that all these words have the same meaning as well, okay? Because it helps you become a better writer. So I have one more video to show you to explain it a little more.
Hello everyone and welcome to LearNova. I'm Alex and today we're going to talk about shades of meaning. Words can have related meanings. They mean almost the same thing, but not exactly the same thing. They have little differences between their meanings, which are called shades of meaning. It can be a little bit confusing because you might think they are the same, but they are not. Shades of meaning show different intensity or manner. For example, some words mean a weaker action or feeling, but some other words mean a stronger action or feeling. Some words mean bigger in size, but other words mean smaller in size. Let's compare these words here. The word hop and spring. The words pleased and thrilled. The word peak and stare, and the words big and giant. What's the difference between those words? The words hop and spring are both ways to jump. That's right. If you want to jump, you hop or you spring. But spring is higher. If you want to jump higher, you spring. That's right. The words pleased and thrilled, they both mean happy. That's right. I'm pleased to see you. I'm very thrilled to see you. That's fine. But thrilled is more excited. That's right. Now, here's another one. The words peek or stare are both ways to look, but stare is to look for a longer time. The words big and giant both mean large in size, but giant is much larger. Well, could you help me find out the difference in meaning between the words watch and clock? That's right, both are tools to tell time. If you look at the watch, you know the time. If you look at the clock, you also know the time. However, a clock is bigger in size. You can wear a watch on your wrist, while a clock can be hung on a wall. I guess you got the idea. Let's check how much you've learned today. Scroll down, take a quiz. Good luck.
Okay, you do not have to take a quiz, and I know you're excited about that. No quizzes, except for the quizzes that you will do in your instructions for today. But anyway, since this is the last video that you may see from a teacher this week, I want to speak for all the third grade teachers and the administrators. We really did miss the treasured time that we did not get to have with you guys at the end of this year. And if we could have changed anything, we would have, just to see you again. Know that we love you, we miss you, we hope you have a great summer. And we hope that we get to see you in the East Side hallways and things like that. And just know that we are always here for you. We care for you at Northside, and have a wonderful summer. Okay? Bye.